All right, fine.
Evening, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, guys. Hope everybody is doing fine. There aren't too many people here today. Oh,
Good evening, sir.
quite a few. Okay, thought there aren't. So anyway, okay, let's go ahead. Aishwarya, can you please check with Lida? She can
Sure, sir.
join. Just check. Maybe if she's not well, it's okay. Okay, guys. As a matter of coincidence, I am not in my office today, but I can talk to you. So first, are there some pressing questions? Go ahead with that, and then we will discuss more. What do you wanted? Okay, that's all right. Okay. Nobody has any questions.
Sir, which type of questions can be asked?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir, you're audible, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
So I was asking, do you guys have any questions?
No, sir, not particularly. I
No
am just
particular.
here to listen your words.
Oh, okay, great.
As of
That
now,
is good.
because the exam just got over.
What is not over?
No, so the exam just got over, so not
Oh, just got
having any particular.
over. So okay. So you are giving yourself a break. You're relaxing a little bit. Good, good. All right. So how did your exam go?
It
It was
was okay,
fine.
sir.
Nice.
Nice. Yes,
It was
nice.
fine. All right, good. Was it very difficult or very easy?
Not that difficult, but yeah, it was okay.
Most of those
Okay.
covered in the lectures or in the live sessions.
All right. So that is one part which we keep telling you all the time, that we will not ask you any question as a trick question. We will only ask you questions from what we have covered in classes. Okay? So that is one part. Uh, was there any confusion in the question paper?
Sir, I have one question.
Go ahead.
Sir, consonant cluster in the word text, T-E-X-T.
Uh,
So in the options, it is given initial double C, final double C,
uh,
initial triple C, and final triple C.
okay.
So I think I marked final double C, I guess. And in
Okay.
the answer, it is given final triple C.
Right.
So how this
How is
one is
it?
confusing.
How is it? Very nice. Good question. So let's talk about it. In the sense that if the final question is, if the final question, sorry, there are three. So what are the sounds in that word? Text. Tell me the sounds. Ta.
Text, yes, sir.
No. The first sound is ta.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
The second sound is a. Third sound is
Go.
K,
ka. Ka. Fourth sound is
st,
So,
sa. And the fifth sound is ta.
t.
Okay.
So, t.
okay, sir.
So ka, sa, ta are in cluster. Try saying this and then you will see. Text. Ka, sa, ta are the sounds that are making cluster.
Okay, sir.
Get it? Because
In,
soon after first ta, there is a vowel A.
yes, sir.
So that there is no cluster between, so there is no cluster in the beginning of the word.
Yes, sir.
Okay? And it's a monosyllabic word. So there is
Yes, sir.
three consonants forming a cluster at the end of the word.
Okay, sir.
Get it? That is
Yes,
how. So one way to understand that is you have to do it slowly. Meaning you have to be patient in finding out sounds, and then you will clearly get the answer that how many consonants are forming clusters.
Okay,
Get it?
sir.
So let me
Yes, sir.
ask you one more question to all of you. If we have a word like school, right? School. How many sounds are there in this word?
Four
First,
Sir,
sounds,
4.
sir.
first tell me sounds. And what are they?
Sir,
Sir,
Sa,
ka,
la,
mu, and
la.
la,
So the vowel comes right before the last one,
correct.
yes,
right?
sir.
So,
Ooh.
vowels.
So in that case, and there are only 4 of them. Now, if you pay attention to the first 2, then you will realize that these 2 consonants are making a cluster.
School. Yes.
School. We don't say school, right?
Yes.
It is school. So sa and ka are making clusters. So if you do some practice with some of the words, just take 10-15 words. Okay? Write down all the sounds of that word and see if is there a cluster in this word. Maybe there is one, maybe there is none. This practice will help you find out clusters among consonants in the word.
So the word cluster itself has a cluster.
Sorry?
The word cluster itself has a cluster.
Of course, there is a cluster in that. But I'm asking you to find it out. Get it?
Yes, sir.
That is the way to find out clusters. Was there anything else difficult, confusing on the question paper?
I don't know about the quiz, sorry, term 1 question paper, sir, but term 2 question paper was fairly simple. So it wasn't that difficult.
Okay.
It only had models, so but a large amount of questions were related to models. So it was fairly simple.
Okay. So do you
This is from English 1 question paper, Chetan.
okay.
We are taking English 2.
Do you guys understand the concept of model and modality now? Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So you have what are the concepts that you have learned so far? Modals. What was before that?
So in English too, we had figures of speech, passive, active voices, adverbs, different types of adverbs, adverbial clauses, uh, adjectival clauses. Clauses was
Okay.
one topic there, and tag questions were there.
Okay. Do you understand? Do you guys understand tag questions now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I do. Yes, sir.
So you understand how it works, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You explained the concept very well in the lecture, so it was a well put together
Now,
lecture.
now the next part is using them in your speech when you speak English.
Sure, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So try applying the way you have learned and we have discussed in the class. Try applying that way in your speech. Only then it will show up. It makes sense. So
Yes, sir.
knowing something theoretically and using them, applying them in practice, these are two different things. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So we are trying to make sure that you understand things theoretically with clarity and simplicity. Now it is up to you to apply using it when you write something, apply using it when you speak something, and so on.
Understood, sir.
Get it?
Yes, sir.
Uh, and are things about active and passive voice?
Yes, sir. That's clear.
There is one specific point about active and passive voice that all of you should keep in mind. Active and passive. Most of the time when we speak and when we write, we should avoid passive voices. We should avoid the use of passive voice.
Yes.
Get it?
Yes, sir.
Because when we use passive voice, we do not mean, we mean to hide the agent.
Yeah.
We don't want to reveal the source as a doer. So we hide it. We say things like,
The vase was broken.
right, or thieves were caught. It was said. So when we say it was said, we don't want to say who said.
Yes.
So we avoid it. And for the purpose of clarity, it is important to avoid passive voice. It's important, but it's important to know that. It's important to avoid, but more important is to know that.
Understood, sir.
Okay. So I am happy to hear that things are clear to you. And our purpose is only to make these points theoretically clear so that it becomes easier for you to write, read, and speak. But along the lines of each one of these topics, please do some practice.
Sure,
Then
sir.
these concepts will stay with you forever. Okay?
Understood, sir.
All right.
Sir,
What else? Yeah.
sir, like we are studying English in for data science. Sir, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Sir, like we are studying English in a data science course. I mean that is this learning English necessary in other field like other than speaking or writing or learn or like understanding English is there any other aspect that we for which we need to learn English?
You are asking, is it important to learn English?
Yes, yes, sir. If
Is that what?
like if we don't need for English just for communication, is this important to learn English?
It is important to learn English. Uh, it is it, it is important for many reasons, not just for communication. It's important to understand other people. It's important to understand whole bulk of books written in other fields. It's also important in the sense that English is the only language in the world which is spoken by speakers of all other languages of the world. You understand the point? Meaning,
लेकिन सर घूम घूम फिर के सर बात तो वही आ रही है कि कम्युनिकेशन के लिए इंग्लिश जरूरी है.
नहीं, सिर्फ कम्युनिकेशन के लिए जरूरी नहीं है, लेकिन आप सोचिए कि अगर सभी चीज को कम्युनिकेशन मानते हैं तो जरूरी है, लेकिन अगर हम कम्युनिकेट नहीं भी करना चाहें तो दूसरों को समझने के लिए तो जरूरी है ना। बहुत सारे लोग होते हैं जो बोल नहीं पाते हैं लेकिन समझते हैं, ठीक
यस
है,
सर।
तो समझने के लिए तो जरूरी है ना। और ये एक ऐसा लैंग्वेज है जो हिंदी हिंदी बोलने वाले भी बोलते हैं, चाइनीज बोलने वाले भी बोलते हैं, जापानीज बोलने वाले भी बोलते हैं। तो उस लैंग्वेज को अगर हम सभी लोग जानेंगे तो होल वर्ल्ड बिकम्स एक्सेसिबल टू अस। फॉर दैट पर्पस आल्सो वी शुड लर्न इंग्लिश।
So,
ओके सर।
if you don't mind, I'd like to add something to that. Uh,
श्योर।
yeah. So, Manisha, I think you are from Haryana. I got that from your accent, and since I am from Haryana as well, I'd like to share something with you. You asked about English, and I'll tell you why English is important. And since I'm from Haryana, I can share my experience. So I studied there, and the level of English that was taught to us was like even the English when the teachers used to teach us the English, they used to translate it to Hindi, and so that somehow I don't know that impacted all the students, and we all had pretty bad spoken English, and that affected our confidence as well. So when I moved to Delhi to my new school, uh, I used to be a quiet kid because I everybody was talking in English. I had no idea how to communicate, and I had no idea how to talk to my teachers, how to ask doubts, and that's when I realized, okay, I'm lacking something. That I'm lacking something. The very first day, the school made me realize that okay, I'm lacking something, and then I decided to change this thing about me. I immersed myself into English content, and I picked up few things slowly and slowly, and I started talking in English. That opened up a whole new arena to me. Initially I just wanted to communicate with others, but later it just opened up a whole new arena to me, a whole new uh, field of information. So different topics that were unavailable to me because I couldn't speak English. Now they were available to me because the majority of information that is available on internet is available in English. So it's not just for communication. I would say that if you want to learn anything, so English would be useful for that. So that was just it.
वेरी नाइस।
थैंक यू वेरी
डिड
मच,
इट
मुझे
मेक
बहुत अच्छा लगा
डिड इट
आपने
मेक
अपना
सेंस टू यू
एक्सपीरियंस
मनीषा?
शेयर। यस सर।
अब आप एक सवाल का आंसर बताइए, ये कंफ्यूजन आपको क्यों लगा?
नहीं सर, मुझे कंफ्यूजन की बात नहीं है, मतलब मुझे लग रहा था कि क्योंकि मैं से मेरे फिजिक्स केमिस्ट्री मैथ के टीचर बहुत ही कम आते थे तब उस टाइम में तो मेरी इंग्लिश बहुत खराब थी। प्लस टू में मैंने उसकी इम्प्रूवमेंट लेकर तब मुझे लगता है कि और इम्प्रूवमेंट करूँ अपनी लैंग्वेज में या फिर जैसे कंप्यूटेशनल थिंकिंग है इनके इनकी तरफ ध्यान दूँ, इंग्लिश सीखने के चक्कर में वो पीछे ना रह जाए। इसलिए मैं पूछ रही थी
ये एक दूसरा सवाल है। ये एक दूसरा सवाल है। देखिए 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 मेरी बात सुनिए, ये दूसरे तरह का सवाल है। सवाल आपके मन में ये है कि इस सब्जेक्ट में कितना ध्यान दिया जाए, ठीक है। इंग्लिश सीखने के लिए कंप्यूटेशनल थिंकिंग में कम समय देने की जरूरत नहीं है, ठीक है।
सर साथ में कॉलेज
मैं
भी तो
ये
है।
कहूंगा कि हाँ, टाइम तो निकालना पड़ेगा, लेकिन मैं ये बताना चाहता हूँ कि इंग्लिश, द प्रोसेस ऑफ लर्निंग इंग्लिश, ओके, ये कोई इंडिपेंडेंट प्रोसेस नहीं है। आप इसको हर काम में जोड़ सकते हैं। ये हम सोचते कैसे हैं, आप कंप्यूटेशनल थिंकिंग या कॉलेज के बारे में भी सीखने के प्रोसेस में अंग्रेजी सीख सकती है। मेरा पॉइंट ये है कि यू डोंट नीड टू फाइंड सेपरेट टाइम फॉर इंग्लिश, एंड एट द सेम टाइम आई वुड नॉट recommend you to spend less time with other subjects, either your college or computational thinking or anything else. And if you make process of learning English as part of your natural life, then only it becomes an enjoyable and successful process.
यस सर,
थोड़ा सा
इंग्लिश पढ़ना वैसे काफी अच्छा लगता है मुझे। इंग्लिश के लिटरेचर पढ़ना, जैसे कि जितने भी लेसन्स इंग्लिश पढ़ते इंग्लिश में इतनी नक हो जाऊं कि बाकी छूट जाए। ये बात हो गई सर मैं।
ये तो आप ही डिसाइड कर, हाँ ये तो आप ही डिसाइड कर सकती हैं, और निश्चित रूप से बाकी चीज नहीं छोड़िए, ठीक है? वेरी नाइस।
Manisha, I'd like to tell you something. You're doing your CT right now, and I hope you'll be taking Python in the next term. And अभी मैं एक बात बता दूं आपको कि CT और Python, जो कि ऐसा देखने से ऐसा लगता है कि इंग्लिश के साथ इनका क्या ही लेना देना होगा, बट मैं इतना बता सकता हूँ आपको कि अगर आपकी इंग्लिश कमजोर है, आपकी अंग्रेजी कमजोर है कहीं पर भी, तो आपको कहीं ना कहीं पाइथन में और सीटी के टाइम पे क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करते हुए प्रॉब्लम आएगी। और पाइथन में तो आप खुद कोड लिखेंगे, तो अगर क्वेश्चन ही आपने नहीं समझा ढंग से तो कोड भी आपका सही हो जाएगा। So I think that should be big enough incentive for you to focus on English, I'd say.
Okay. So no, very nice, important deliberations. तो मैं आपसे, आप लोगों से ये सिर्फ बोलना चाहता हूँ अभी आज के लिए कि आपका एग्जाम अभी खत्म हुआ है, और अगर कोई और क्वेश्चन नहीं है तो हम रुक जाएं यहाँ पर। मैं एक दूसरे
sir.
मीटिंग में हूँ, और मैं चेन्नई में भी नहीं हूँ, और पूरी तरह से आपको टाइम नहीं दे पा रहा हूँ, सॉरी अबाउट दैट।
No issues, sir.
But because we just finished your exam and we don't have many questions, so let's stop and we will meet in a relaxed way on next Wednesday
Surely, sir.
and
Yeah,
carry
surely.
it forward. Okay, it is nice.
Surely, sir. Yes, sir.
These questions and concerns are also important. I am not discouraging you from speaking anything or asking anything or talking about anything. I am not saying these questions are not important, but for today we will wind it up now and we'll carry it forward next time.
ओके सर,
Yes, sir.
ठीक है?
ठीक है सर।
Okay guys, see you
Thank you, sir.
again next week. Take care.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Bye bye. Wonderful talking to all of you. Aishwarya, can you take care of the rest?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you.
Ma'am, is this session specifically for term 1 students?
नहीं, कोई भी क्वेश्चन पूछ सकता
Sorry,
है।
come again.
I was asking whether this session is specifically for term 1 students. I think you mentioned in the in the beginning of the session, I think.
No, this is a doubt clearing session. It's a combined session for English 1 and 2.
Okay.
We'll have students of both English 1, 2 and students from electronic systems
Yes, yes.
at the
Yes.
qualifier
Okay.
level. Yeah.
Understood.
So this is a combined live session, a doubt clearing live session with Professor Rajesh.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you all. Good evening. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
थैंक यू मैम।